work that's been going on in both dermatology and safeguarding. We've got two presentations today. As per usual, we'll save any questions to the end, if that's okay, but we'll make a start. Nicola, I think with you and Dermatology 60-day Kaizen event.
Thank you so much. So I don't know if anybody on here has been previously when we've done the report out. We did a Kaizen event to look at delays that were taking place in between decision to treat with a consultant and actually getting treatment for that patient. So it was all a little bit looking at the medical dermatology pathway for our patients. Next slide, please. So, baseline problems that we identified was the lead time. So from when a consultant decided that we were prescribing a certain treatment for our patients, that was taking 38 days. And we decided an appropriate target for that would be 14 days. And then we looked at our backlog, which was quite alarming, really, for the nurse specialist team. We had over 1,100 patients on there. And then there was the appointments, sustainability, where we had about 10% being wasted through DNAs or late cancellations. And that was 5%. Next slide, please. So our actions, after the two and a half day event, we then managed to identify 4 key areas that we were going to focus on: education and information sharing with patients on the intranet. And what was really particularly pertinent to myself was that we were going to allocate or be allocated a new physical office space to provide increased capacity from my team to provide telephone clinics. We also requested or identified that when a consultant was making that decision to treat, all the information that they had in their mind or that they'd collated from blood results, tests, conversations they'd had, and identifying the treatment, if that was communicated to the nursing team in a streamlined way, and we decided that that would be through a referral form. And then we looked at if we were going to be upping our clinical activity from the CNS team, we needed to look at some new admin support for the CNS team and our one admin coordinator that we currently had. We also identified lots of other issues that we would like to look at in the future, and they are currently sat in our car park. Next slide, please. So we're now at 60 days, or I think we're a little bit over at 60 days. And where are we up to? Let's have a look at a progress. Our lead time at the moment is now down to 18 days from the decision to treat to when we can actually send off to the Homecare for the prescriptions to be generated for that patient. So that's pretty good. That's going very much in the right direction. We're not far away from where we want to be. Quality defects, looking at the follow-up, the backlog of patients, that's still a little bit stagnant. So we are down to just over 1,000. There's a 9% improvement in the follow-up backlog. There is actually a 48% improvement in the lead time from decision to treat, the number one. And then sustainability, we remain at around about 10%. I did a quick look at some figures over the last couple of days, and we're about 12% on our initiation clinic appointments. And that's just patients either not attending or cancelling late. Next slide, please. What would you do differently? So we have made some improvement, and whilst we were really enthusiastic when we first started, or when the event took place and everybody was on board, we have come across many challenges. The greatest challenge has to be IT. And so in order for me and my team to provide these extra clinics, it was identified that we needed 4 new laptop computers to do telephone clinics from our central office that we'd been allocated, which was fantastic. We got an office instantly. And that, unfortunately, despite being signed off by the service and business managers, just keeps getting declined from IT when it gets to the other end. And it's just there's no reason why it's declined. So for the sake of not being able to get those 4 laptops, we're not able to yet start those telephone clinics, which would help with that follow-up backlog. We're literally at the moment cobbling around with things that we've almost got out of the skip. It's very dated, very second-hand, and it's what nobody else really wants. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it's not really anybody's fault that we can think of, or that how we can change it, really. So that's been a problem. And then the referral form, which we've requested all our consultants and all our registrars to do before referring patients to us, which would be a great improvement in streamlining our service, has been met with some resilience from those that would need to fill it in. And that's because it takes a couple of minutes longer for them, but it does save us a considerable amount of time. So yes, good progress in many ways, but still finding many challenges. Oh, that sounds a bit doom and gloom, doesn't it? Unless
Paul, do you
somebody
want to
else.
come in? No, Nicola, that's fine. Thank you. And it's really refreshing to hear your kind of honest appraisal of where you're at with this process. This is never going to be perfect, is it? And I think, discussing the rocks in your shoes is what this meeting is about, really. So, yeah.
We have gained more good than negative.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I may have painted a bit of a bleak picture, but there's a lot of good that's come from it.
I'll bring Paul in and then Natasha.
Yeah, thanks, Nicola. You can see the progress you're making. That's great. You were really nice when you said you don't think it's anybody's fault about why you've not got your laptops. Just be really clear, it's my fault. So I'm the Chief Information Officer, so it's my fault you've not got them. Send me the ticket number that got rejected. Send me the budget number that you were allocating the cost to, and I'll try and find out what happened. It's a bit odd, to be honest, Nicola, because we have a standard. We deal with hundreds of these, hundreds and hundreds. So all I can think is something's got filled in wrong or something's been misunderstood.
Who am I sending that to?
So send it paul.jones number 2 at nhs.net. And I'm the CIO for the whole trust. So they all work for me. So it's my fault if you've not got what you want. Now, there may be a good reason for it, but I don't know. But it doesn't sound right that if you've asked for it a couple of times and it's just come back rejected, especially if you've got a budget number to go with it as well. So just send me those details and I'll ask the team if they know what's going on.
Fabulous.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, Natasha.
I just didn't want that to end on that note, but how can I top that? But thank you, Paul. And it isn't really anybody's fault. It's processes that let people down, not the other way around, isn't it? So with all good intent, I just wanted to point out.
No.
Well, you're taking the responsibility.
It's my fault.
That is brilliant.
It's my fault. I am responsible for the IT service across this trust. It's my fault. I am accountable for that. And I'm empowered to do something. I will use the Leeds Way values and we'll do something about it. And what I do may say, I'm really sorry, Nicola, but this is the reason why we can't do it. But we will find out.
Great.
Yeah, brilliant. And I can't really top that because amazing that we've solved that problem and removed that barrier. But I just wanted to point out, I have popped it in the chat, but on your TPR, you quoted a 7% change to your lead time, and it's actually a 53% change to your lead time, going from 38 days down to 18, so close to that 14-day target. It's 53%, so don't do yourself an injustice. You've done brilliantly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the adult safeguarding, and then if there are any questions at the end for both presenters, we'll come back to that. So if we can come on to Amanda and Barbara presenting on the adult safeguarding referral process.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll start with myself. My name is Barbara Ball, and I'm one of the adult safeguarding advisors in the Trust for Safeguarding, and I'm joined with my colleague Amanda Simpson, and this is very much a team effort. I just want to say that without Amanda's support, I was the one that did the LIM training to do this presentation. I have to say, if it wasn't for Amanda's support, I wouldn't be here today delivering it. So I've asked Amanda to deliver it because she's done such hard work. And also I want to thank the staff that I work with, my colleagues, because again, without their support, this wouldn't have worked and we wouldn't be here today. So I just want to start off with that. So let's get going. So essentially, we receive referrals to the adult safeguarding team via a form, electronic Word document, which is the safeguarding referral form. And for short, we call it the SA1. So I will be using that reference throughout this short presentation. And what we were finding is, as a team, we are becoming more and more busy and seeing an increase in referrals, but not only an increase, the complexity of people that need safeguarding are becoming more and more challenging, particularly we think since COVID, we've, as everyone else has done in health, which is putting a lot of pressure on us, because when the SA1s come in, we have to triage them. So it's a job as a registered professional that's specialised in safeguarding, is that when I'm on duty, or one of my colleagues is on duty for the Trust for Safeguarding, is that we read through these forms, we triage them, and then we advise and do action planning with the clinical areas, etc., and we liaise outside the Trust with various different teams within the safeguarding umbrella. So they were becoming more complex. And what I started to notice within the team, when, and this is why I took this up as a project, was that all of us within the team were very much approaching how we did this triaging very differently to each other. So we felt that to try and streamline it and make it more effective and reduce time and cut waste, that we should standardise our process. So this is what we did to be able to achieve that. Next slide, please.
So the problem and the challenge as Barbara said, the referrals were becoming increasingly complex. So to effectively respond to the cases, it was essential to streamline our internal processes and create more capacity for providing high quality advice and support. Additionally, we observed inconsistencies in how the team members were approaching these tasks. We had 2 new team members, and it was the ideal time to take a step back and standardise our processes and just make it more efficient. We aligned them with the 7 commitments. That was also quite high on our agenda. So it was just to reduce our reliance on paper, optimising digital processes that we have already, the enhanced ability to provide timely and accurate advice towards, because we do get bogged down. There's so many different areas that we can end up getting brought into if the safeguarding's not straightforward. So the time savings enabled our staff to work more efficiently. It improved overall value for resources used. We were looking at our electronic systems that we already had, and then the collaborative work across the team to ensure consistent support, especially during challenging situations, and just supporting our staff well-being and ensuring patients are receiving thoughtful, informed care in a timely manner, really. Next slide, please.
Thank you. So through my workshops undertaking the LIM, so that's why I came to the LIM training, because I was advised that this would help. It certainly did. So obviously I undertook the training, and then I took away some different methods that I wanted to use. And the methods that I used to enable me to do this was initially, we had a team meeting, and I spoke to my managers first about what I wanted to do, and they wholly backed me on this and thought it was a great idea. And then we took it to the team, and they were all absolutely on board. The 6 of us that are registered, I think roughly, sorry if I got that wrong, but roughly about 6 of us that are registered that do the duty. but also our two administrators, Amanda and Kath, also triage our safeguarding forms as well. So that's why we all needed to be on board to make sure we were all singing from the same hymn sheet here. So first of all, I started off by doing observation forms, and I sat and I observed each colleague when they were on duty, how they were dealing with each referral as it came in. And I wanted to time the steps. I wanted to look at how many steps they were taking, what the process was that they were undertaking, how they did it, and the timing that they were doing it within. And that myself, I got one of my colleagues to time me and look at how many steps. And it was quite phenomenal that some people would take sort of like 3 or 4 steps, other people would have 10 steps. So after that, I documented all that down, and I called upon Katie, who's one of the LIM team, who's been supporting me in this journey as well. So I want to say thank you to Katie and her team as well. And we all met up on a team meeting, and Katie attended it, and she got us to look at wastage and what we were doing, different steps, and how we could streamline it. And Amanda very kindly then put it into a standard process description of what steps we could remove, which were probably not really needed, because we were duplicating things, like duplicating notes, our own notes, when we were putting things on PPM Plus, for example. So we were saying, well, do we need to put these kind of things in our own notes when the things that we're already documenting elsewhere and so forth, and then we were, some of the emails we were sending, you know, was it wastage? Did we need to do it? So we did that, and what we did was we brought the team together to make an agreement on that. And the other thing was, what we looked at as well is the kind of things that we wrote on PPM Plus. People were writing lots of different things about action plans for different types of recommendations for types of abuse and neglect that our patients deal with. So we did look at standardizing that. However, can I just quite say the stress on that is that every patient is an individual. So although we have standardized it, we do recognize that sometimes we will have like extra bits to that, to standardize it to that, to personalize that patient's care. And I want to make that very clear. Next slide, please.
Sorry, I muted myself. Through the application of the LIM, the team successfully developed a new standard operating procedure for safeguarding referrals, alongside a standardised, easily accessible PPM Plus advice notes document. So it's a Word document that everybody has sat on their desktop, really simple, that they can go in and search. And we've put links to the sort of the advice that matches the type of abuse. And then obviously, as Barbara mentioned, it's sort of personalised rather than starting from scratch. The improvement provides staff with a consistent, reliable starting point for managing more complex cases. As a result, it significantly reduced time spent on documentation, allowing the team to focus more on supporting colleagues, enhancing patient care, benefiting both the immediate team and the wider hospital. We've also been using the PDSAA cycle to regularly review and improve our processes. And since making the initial changes, we've reflected on what's working and identified things that needed adjusting. For example, the notes that we've created as legislation changes or anything's updated, we can instantly update that. And because it's a link to everybody, it's the new it's the new information. So that's worked really. We've tried to keep it basic, because obviously we've all got very different skill levels in electronic processes, and it's massively improved our times. Next slide, please.
So what went well? Absolutely thrilled to pieces that the team totally took this on board. Everybody, because when you're doing duty, it can be very, very stressful. The phone's ringing, people are wanting advice. We've got external professionals wanting us, the wards wanting us. We even have relatives, patients ring us, and then we're trying to process these things. So there was a lot of things going on. So people knew we needed to make some change to look at how we could manage things a little bit more. I can't praise the KPO team enough. Katie, bless her, every time I emailed her or I rang her, she was there at the end of the phone or her email and really helped me if I was struggling with something and I wanted to understand the process a little bit from the LIM work and how it would work for me. So she was fab with that as well. We felt that we've made some good wins here because we've reduced time in the processing of our safeguardings, and being able to do that, they are much more professional, and social care, who we send our safeguarding referrals on to, have even commented that they've noticed that the sorry, the right word, but they've noticed that they're much more slicker as well, so they're quite pleased with it as well. I liked one of the things that I really liked was the fact that again, the LIM project allowed me to use different approaches to be able to look at moving forward, because not everyone works with written information, do they, or discussion. I know we have some quite neurodivergent people that work within our team, and using the visual maps and stuff like that was a real win-win situation for them. I'm one of those people, and it really helped me. It kind of makes sense for me as well. And yeah, we're really happy with what we've done up to date. Next slide, please. Do you want me to do this, Amanda?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would we do different? I think it's an ongoing process, this, because things always change, don't they? So I think next time we would bring the wards into it. We'd look at perhaps asking the ward managers or the people that do the safeguarding referrals about how they think we could streamline them perhaps for them, because that can be quite challenging. One of the things that we did have, I mean, it's last year now since I did the LIM training, and because of time constraints, because of operational pressures, it's taken me a long time to be able to get here. I've had to kind of fit this work as and when I can round. So it would have been nice if I could have had more protected time. But hey, I know that the NHS is under pressure. I know it's not just me as well. Yeah, just using things like I'm saying, documentation. We've started to use more of some of the different charts and stuff that I've learnt in LIM as part of our whole team process as well. And I'm probably doing a pilot a bit before we implemented it. So yeah, so it's still an ongoing thing because things keep changing and evolving, and we're still learning. And that's it. So as I say, I'm really proud, and thank you for letting us present to you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks, Barbara. Thanks, Amanda. I mean, really great work that you've signalled there, and the changes that will have a tangible benefit for the people who are being referred into your service. I think is something we really need to hang on to. It's and it's those small scale changes that have a huge impact that are really what the spirit of the Leeds improvement method is all about. In actual fact, I'll just open up to questions if there are any. Anybody want to come in? Across both presentations, actually, there was two. Oh, sorry, Paul. Do you want to come in first?
Yeah, it wasn't really a question, to be honest, Mike. It's a bit like you were saying. It's really good to hear those two presentations. I really liked in this latter presentation about continuing to use that PDSA cycle. It's not a done once and we've done our improvement for the next few years. We'll just carry on now. Just like that, reflecting and improving. I think that's a really important aspect of the Leeds improvement method, and so good to see that coming to life in both of the presentations, actually. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's presented today.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I think for me the two things that struck me were process and people, and process is one element of this, but if we can get the engagement right with the people that are using the service or the people that are referring into the service, and you've both presentations touched upon this, understanding what they would see as being good and going back to them and retesting that, I think is really, really important. And you've both reflected on that in terms of the work you've already done, but also in terms of things that you might do in the future as well. The other element, in particular, the last one, was the link to the commitments, which are part of our Leeds improvement methodology, but that need to make the best use of our available resources. That it might be that we can use things and do things in a different way if we look at things differently, and if we can take a step back and have a chance to do that, I think is really important as well. I was actually going to just ask a general question around how would you, in terms of engaging further with the users of the service over the next few weeks and months, how would you envisage across both projects that would pan out, I suppose? What kind of plans do you have to be able to do that and then enrich the process even more? So whether, Barbara, do you want to take that? And then
Nicola? I'm sorry, Nicola, I've jumped in there. I mean, that is something that we can take forward. It's not. I know my managers, that it's a process that my managers are constantly looking at, particularly with social care. I think going out to using the clinicians, I think, is key for me, because obviously they are the ones that make the referral. So I would like, if I'm going to move this forward, my next goal would be to go out to the clinicians and say about how easy is it for you filling it in, what's the process like, how could it be made easier for you, and perhaps do a little bit of an audit and look if we can use some of the LIM work with them around that. I know my manager's on here, Charlotte. I don't know if or Amanda. I don't know if any of you would want to add to that, or you're happy with what I've just said.
No, that's fine. I was going to say, while Paul's on the call, can we have the SA1 as a digital form, please, if that's in your power to do?
That would be helpful.
So
it's fine. I don't want to put you on the spot, Paul.
No,
if you're handing out favours, then
no. So getting some kit is one thing. The forms is interesting. So I was asked by the clinical leadership fellows last week, why does it take so long to get a form? And the answer is, doing a form is really quick. Doing a form takes a few days. The reason it takes really long is there's 250 other people have also asked for forms. So we have to have a prioritisation process about how those get dealt with. If you have forms that you want, there is a form on the intranet where you can request for works to be done, and that'll go into a big bucket with all the requests from everyone else across the trust. And I'm afraid the resource level we've got doesn't anywhere near match the demand that we've got for forms, for projects across the whole of the trust. So I don't bypass any of that prioritisation process. So feel free to raise that request into the process. It'll go into the hopper and it'll get dealt with, I'm afraid, with all the others.
No, thank you. I think it's in the bucket already. So thanks.
Charlotte? Okay. Nicola, was there anything from your point of view, from the dermatology experience, in terms of that next steps, engagement with people and the processes that they have to undertake?
No, as I say, similarly, I think our consultants would be more on board in doing the referral form if it was there on PPM Plus to do, instead of having to do a separate Word document and then upload it onto PPM Plus. But as you say, there's lots of people awaiting that sort of work to be put in place. So we just have to take our time.
Yeah.
But just because people are waiting doesn't mean you shouldn't submit the request. So put the request into the hopper. It will get prioritised. It will get dealt with. You will get some feedback on it. But what I won't do is I don't bypass those processes. We put those in place so that they're clinically and operationally led, what we prioritise for the trust, not by me.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. I think that's us at the end of Report Out for this Friday. Look forward to hearing updates on both of these projects in the next few weeks and months, because they're both making great progress in terms of patient experience and how we're improving accessibility, which is fantastic to hear. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank
Lovely.
you. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye now.
Thank you.